Is our neighborhood scary?
What?
Stay tuned to find out if our neighborhood's scary, and if it is, why we still live here. But we're going to watch a beautiful sunset at the end and eat some churros too. So
Yummy.
stay tuned. So I'm Luisa.
And Michael?
And we are Retired Life Mexico. And our favorite thing to do is share with you the sights and sounds of Mexico through our eyes.
Yep.
Because we've lived here for 2 years, almost 3 now. And we love Mexico and we want you to see why. So, Michael, today's video is all about our neighborhood and our walk to the beach. So, could you tell everybody what our neighborhood is like?
So my impression is that I would describe it as a humble Mexican neighborhood with, to me, roots of Mexican culture spread through all out our beautiful little quaint neighborhood.
And that means it's not in the tourist zone. And
No,
a lot
it's
of
not.
tourists, when they walk over here, they're lost. But we have some neighbors who live down the street that are foreigners as
Yeah.
well, but very few. And so we're going to start off our walk through the neighborhood. Remember, it's about 15 minutes to get to the beach, but we're going to stop along the way at the bookstore where you can exchange your English speaking books or English written books.
Yeah.
And get some other ones. But first, we're going to start off with walking out our door and down the sidewalk, which you got to pay attention to the walk, right?
Yeah, it's unlevel, but as soon as you walk out our door, you hear the sights and sounds of Mexico. And within feet, you have a nice, wonderful store to buy whatever you need in there.
It's Eugenia's store, and she sells abarrotes, which are
Abarrotes.
all sorts of groceries.
Yeah.
It's like a very small 7-Eleven.
And one of my favorite things we get from that store are fresh tortillas, where we can make our own tacos.
Right, but we don't get them every day from that store because we have a tortilleria down the road.
Yeah, but we frequent that store for the tortillas.
Yes, and I like to get a banana once in a while. I also get my little jug of water that I use to brush my teeth. And every morning, if it's there, she will save me a croissant.
Yeah,
Which
very nice.
here in Mexico, we don't call them croissants because that's French. We call them cuernitos, which are horns, right? Horns. So the croissant shape, horn shape, cuernitos. Anyway,
Okay.
so she saves one of those for me every day if there's one that arrives from the panadero, the baker. So we pass her store, and then you can see up here on the left, we have the chickens and the roosters. And this is quite the sight because the chickens are free range. They're running all over.
Yeah, a little bit out of my comfort zone, but this is part of Mexico, and we've chosen to live in this neighborhood. So this family, they let their, I guess they're, I don't know what they're doing exactly, but there are always lots of chickens. I assume they're going to end up on somebody's plate.
They probably are, but they're running all over the streets.
Yeah.
You have to watch out for them. And then there's roosters in the trees,
Oh,
and
my.
they make lots of noise.
Yeah.
And there's an Airbnb right across the way. So I wonder if they enjoy the roosters.
Yeah, I see people in that Airbnb all the time, so it's popular.
It's popular. And then we cross the street over to the river. What do you think of the river, Michael?
Well, I was always growing up, I was always envious of people who live by a beautiful river, and now we have our own. It's very tranquil for me. I love the flow of it, especially during the rainy season. It gets a little less as the winter goes on, which is real fascinating.
Dries up.
But it's just really serene, a lot of serenity walking along that riverfront.
And sometimes we'll see an iguana in the trees or run across the sidewalk. This sidewalk is pretty level.
Yeah, this one's done pretty well.
For the most part. And then we cross over into the sidewalk that goes into town. This is very, very typical of our neighborhood. You'll see lots of different little stores along the way.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see the taco stand right there.
Yeah.
And you keep going, and you're going to see the market.
Yeah, and to me, it just shows life along our walk. I mean, people are working, they're shopping, they're having conversations, they're sitting down there eating, and it's fun for me just to see how regular Mexicans live, not in the tourist
Not
section.
in the tour zone. So we get to the market, which is closed during this video that we
Yeah.
took. We're going to do another video about the market, but this one has a brand new statue of Emiliano Zapata,
Zapata.
which is what the neighborhood is called. And Michael took a picture of this mural because he likes murals.
Right.
It's a real pretty mural.
Yeah, and he's a hero for the Mexican people, and they really honor him.
Yes. Our walk continues past the street taco stand. Yes, we don't frequent these because we don't eat.
But they're so popular. When we walk by, we'll see tourist groups actually brought to these taco stands, people sitting down, having a conversation, going about their daily life. And again, I've said this before, this is part of Mexican culture and we're embracing it. But we get our tacos from a different vendor.
And we'll show you that
Yeah.
in another video. But my favorite thing to do in Mexico is when you pass somebody on the street who's eating at one of these taco stands, you say buen provecho, which means enjoy your food or enjoy your lunch or whatever. It's like bon appetit
Bon
in
appetit,
French.
right.
But we say that and they always say gracias.
Gracias, thank you.
It's very, very common, not something that you hear in the US when you pass somebody in a restaurant, and they're eating, you say buen provecho. Nobody says that in the US.
They don't even talk to you.
True, but they say it all over this place here, and I love saying that as we walk down the street. Okay, so next we're going to get to the bus stop, which is always very busy. What do you think of the buses, Michael?
I enjoy when we have to take the bus, I enjoy the price and it gets me where I want. I'm always a little bit on edge because it's a big hub. There are lots of people, and I don't always know where the bus is going. Thank goodness they write where they're headed to, like Walmart, Costco.
Right.
And so I'm always a little bit nervous, not because I'm afraid. It's just that there's so much hustle and bustling going on.
And we usually end up standing up because it's very busy. And how much does a bus ride cost?
About 50 pesos. And
50 pesos?
No. Let me go back. 10 pesos, which is about 50 cents.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go. And 10 pesos, you don't get change. So don't give them a 50 because they won't give you change. But 10 pesos, 50 cents, and it'll go all the way north. And if you get up there, it'll go all the way south. Back. And so it's a great deal. It's a great deal. And we have a good friend who takes the bus all over the place because she lives a little bit out of town.
Right.
So that's a really easy way to get around. And if you figure out you're lost, you just get off.
Yeah, you just get off or you stay on board and go back to where you started.
Eventually, I suppose. So then we get to the famous tile park, which is called that by us gringos, because it's really Lázaro Cárdenas Park, which is a famous president here in Mexico. But look at these beautiful tiles.
Yeah, they're magnificent and they all are different. And it's quiet today, but on Saturday mornings, they have a giant market with about 100 stands of people selling food, clothes, all kinds of stuff.
And we'll have to do a video about
that. Yeah, we'll
that.
Definitely have to do a video.
Because that's a fun. It's only during the high season when all the tourists are here, but we'll get a video of that up as soon as we can. And this brings us to the page in the sun. This is the bookstore that is a coffee shop also. And you can bring your English written books to the bookstore and exchange them for credit. I brought 6 books the other day and I got $30 worth of credit.
Yeah, it's a peaceful place. They have good Wi-Fi and good cold drinks inside.
And hot drinks too. You could have a hot coffee.
Yeah.
So I will go back and pick out something. I don't have to pick out an English speaking book if I don't want to, but their exchange rate is about $5 a new book, which is a used book. A new book to me and a used book. So somebody else exchanged it and I got my $30 credit. So I got about $5 credit for each.
It's a good deal.
It's a good deal. And it's right here in the romantic zone because by now we've gone into the romantic zone. We left Emiliano Zapata neighborhood, and now we're in the Zona Romantica near the Tile Park. And we're going to walk around the corner to see the sunset.
So this is one of the areas, one of the reasons that we were drawn to Vallarta. This beautiful beach, you can see sunsets every night, and gosh, the affordability. If we live 10, 15 minutes and where we're used to in San Diego, it would cost us $4,000 to $5,000, literally monthly.
And we wouldn't be walking to the beach.
No, we'd have to drive and have to try to find a spot.
Right.
And the weather here yesterday, around the time we took these pictures, were around 80 degrees.
Perfect. And then after we watched the sunset, we walked back up the river to find our favorite churro stand. And yes, the sun had already set.
Yeah.
It was still a little bit of light out. So we're walking down the street, very safe, feeling very safe. And we get 5 churros for 10 pesos.
Yeah. And supposedly, and in my opinion, he's the best in town.
That's what they say.
Yeah, he's there every night and just cranking them out.
And we have a little video here showing us eating them. The best churros in Vallarta.
Cinnamon, sugar, greasy, delicious.
So these are not an every night treat for us because they're kind of high in
Yeah,
sugar.
they are.
But it's fun to show you how we end the day after seeing the sunset, and now we're going to go back home. What do you think, Michael? Do you think our neighborhood is safe?
It's safe, it's peaceful, it's busy. I use the word humble because you go from real expensive condos downtown in the romantic zone to our area where we have a beautiful place, but it's in a very humble neighborhood.
Yes, but hardworking people,
Absolutely.
very friendly people. They're very welcoming to us. They speak Spanish to us all the time in passing, and I get to stop and talk with Eugenia. Yep. Her store is open from 9 until 9, but she closes between 3 and 6 so that she can have her midday meal and a little rest.
9 to 9, wow.
9 to 9, yes, she's a hard worker, and that's 7 days a week.
Yep.
Yeah, so we try to support her and buy our little items there most of the time. So we hope you enjoyed this walk around our neighborhood, and you can see that we love it and we don't fear for our lives.
No.
And we really, really just watch out for the holes in the sidewalk. Yeah. That's our biggest scare.
And we want you to see our view because it's, you see things on TV and the news, and those are spooky. And I get it. I understand it. But this is how things are for us daily.
For us. This is our experience.
Yep.
So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. And again, thank you so much for your support. Yeah, we hope you are really enjoying these videos. And we hope you are enjoying seeing how our life is here in Mexico.
Ciao.
Hasta luego. Bye.